Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jay from Revolution Radio, and man, is the news gonna get exciting in the next few days. Um, it's a lot to talk about, and a lot that's going on. Probably the biggest story right now is that the Senate actually tried to um, get a vote against the national emergency declaration at the southern border. And the Senate tried to actually have that nixed and it didn't pass. So apparently Mitch McConnell doesn't consider the southern border a national emergency, but he couldn't handle his own situation in the Senate. Um, yeah, no, that's probably not the biggest thing going on right now. So we knew about the whistleblower situation. It was something that you'll be very hard to find me talk about because look, Russiagate was something I never bought into, and I'm not gonna comment until I'm 100% sure on something, and I don't want to sit here and say that I agree with a lot of what Trump says, but a lot of when it has to deal with him being ousted by the Democratic Party, yes, a lot of it is witch hunt. I mean, Russia collusion, that was all witch hunt. This thing, as I was reading into it, with the whistleblower and the call to Ukraine, and can you find more information out on Biden? It sounded a lot like what Hillary Clinton did in 2016. She had called Russia to find information out on her political opponents. So, you know, how bad is it? It's not good. It's definitely not good for Trump. I know there's a lot of people who are probably celebrating right now, or I don't know if that's the place I would be in. Because you know that let's talk about a few things that we want to be clear on. No, I and many of the progressives are against the prosecution that Julian Assange has gone under, and I know there's a whole lot of people who say, "Oh no, he should be in prison," and you know, so on and so forth. Well, he was a whistleblower, and whistleblowers should not be afraid to step forward. And in this situation here, this is why. Because the whistleblower in this Trump Zelensky situation is looking at his entire career being over, if not prosecuted for charges. I've seen an array of things. Do I think he's going to be charged? I don't. But I do think he will lose his job, and I do think his whole career is over. For coming forth on something he was concerned about. We don't we don't want to set that precedent that whistleblowers are people who do illegal activities. They call our government out for what they're doing. So that's the first thing we got to get clear on. Okay, so before anyone's celebrating or anyone's happy, understand that the narrative might turn to the whistleblower being the criminal in the situation. All right. And by the way, I'll do a quick rundown. I didn't even think about it. For those of you who don't know, this situation is whistleblower said that Trump was on the phone with somebody from a different country and that he was doing kind of a quid pro quo, and that concerned him, so he turned it into oversight committee. Oversight committee, they wanted to move on with it, and the Justice Department was actually the one that said no, we're going to shut it down. And to be fair, and to be honest, the Justice Department is the one that should be called out for illegal activity. The whistleblower oversight committee, they were all doing the right things. It's the Justice Department that is doing the illegal thing by trying to keep this hidden. Anyway, so we within a day or two, interestingly enough, found out that it was Ukraine. That happened very fast, by the way. Found it was Ukraine. Found out the quid pro quo was that Donald Trump had been um, holding back military aid and other finances from from Ukraine, and in turn, he wanted them to investigate Joe Biden and his son. And that's where I came in, and I was like, I mean, it's wrong by all counts, but it's funny how when it's Trump, we're going to go after, it's a process of, oh, look how he found out. He talked with other countries to meddle in our election. When it was Hillary, we we said, well, look what she found out. It wasn't how she did it, because she did it the exact same way that Trump did. So I was hesitant to really comment or get too far into it, but the reality is both are wrong, and both of these situations do need to be handled. Um, so when called out on this, Donald Trump said he was going to release the transcript of the entire phone call, and he did. And yeah, so he calls him, he congratulates the guy. He says, America has always done a lot of favors for the Ukraine. President Zelensky, obviously he thanked him. He said that he was interested in buying javelins, I believe. Um, Donald Trump replied, well, I would like you to look into something. I have a favor to ask of you. Um, you wanted him to look into a company called CrowdStrike, which was one of the board members was Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden made a butt ton of money yearly, paid in from the Ukrainian government. Things didn't add up. Um, he said that he did not like the people that were around Zelensky, and that Zelensky should get a hold of either William Barr or his people, and his people would contact his people. Um, and then he brought up Joe Biden, which Zelensky didn't at all. In fact, interesting enough, Zelensky brought up um, Rudy Giuliani when Donald Trump said "my people." It's interesting how you go through those channels. Um, and in turn, then Trump brought up to look into Joe Biden and said that he got the former investigator to halt the investigation, and it really needs to look into that, and you need to do whatever you can. Trump then followed it up with when Zelensky agreed to it. Trump said, "I do predict that you will have very good fortunes in Ukraine." I don't know how you would read that as anything but some sort of quid pro quo. I really don't, considering too that the American government and Donald Trump had actually been holding back funds uh, that were designated for the Ukraine. So yeah, it 100%. It looks like that's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to get dirt on a political opponent, and he was using our money to pay for it. Without a doubt. The good thing about this situation is apparently they are also going to continue to look into Hunter Biden's company. I'm a very big fan of that. I think that in this situation, all corruption must be investigated and handled. I don't care who it is and what side of it. I'm just as fine with Biden getting in trouble over illegal actions as I am Donald Trump. So, what are my thoughts on this? First off, it They told us, the Senate, they told us yesterday, before anything came out, they said we're not going to vote for impeachment, so it's not going to happen. So they said no matter what, they're not going to vote for impeachment. They don't, at this point, they had no idea it was going to be released. That's disturbing. Every senator who doesn't want to, who would make a comment like that without seeing any of the evidence should be relieved of their duty. Because you are saying, I don't care about law, I don't care about order, I don't care about American policy, I don't care about our government as much as I care about my party. And I will not hurt party lines no matter how much it hurts the American people or our place in the world. I don't care. There's no standard set that matters as long as I vote along party lines. So it's very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. They should, it's disgusting. This is why you can't trust these people. This is why a republic government such as ours is not always the best. It's where we're at, it's what we have to do, but having somebody who quote unquote represents us but will act to support illegal actions just because of their party. Not exactly something that should be right, especially when we live in America, and that is one of those things that we pride ourselves on. And I know, I can hear the other side saying, yeah, well, what happened when it was about Clinton? And like the Democrats wouldn't do it too. Of course they would do it as well. Of course they would. And that's the problem. That is my problem with a lot of this. So do I think anything's going to happen? No, I don't. I don't think if you are a Donald Trump fanboy, I don't think you have anything to worry about. The Senate already said they're not going to pass it. So who cares? The one thing I would like you to think about is to think about who we vote for and how we vote for them. If you are a fan of Biden, a fan of Trump, a fan of anybody who is a corporate politician, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. They're telling you right in your face, we are going to act against your wishes. We are corrupt. And we're telling you we're corrupt, but you're not going to listen. You're going to act like it's something else. And you will. A lot of you will. Unless you're progressives. And even then, there are progressive politicians. Any of them that tell us they're going to act in our best interest to get elected. And once they are elected, they tell us, no, we're corrupt. Didn't you get it? And if you think I'm saying anything different, just think about what the Republicans said. Think about what Nancy Pelosi has said all along. I'm not going to push for impeachment. Do I think he needs to be impeached? Yes, but I'm not going to. It's not popular. It's corruption. The Republican senators who said, no, we're not voting for impeachment. It's not going to happen no matter what. It's corruption. And they're telling you they're corrupt. It's just on you to decide who you vote for. And how much you pay attention, how much you get involved when it's time to vote whoever is going to represent you. That's on you. So no, I think this is going to be months of nothing for most likely finding out that of course they're corrupt. They're all corrupt, and it will end in nothing. But anyway, that's just my thought. Maybe there's something else. I'm 120% sure I will be doing a video about this tomorrow, and something has changed. There'll be new information. This is probably going to be my life for the next 2 months. No, I will not. I will not do that to you guys who listen. But I'm curious about your thoughts. So let me know. Jay Dillon on Facebook, JAYDYLAN, JC Show on Twitter, JC Show VIP, Twitter, uh, Instagram. I don't give it Instagram. Never mind. Spotify, Google Podcast, uh, iTunes, and Anchor. It's Revolution Radio, or Zach Dillon, ZAKKDILLON. And on YouTube, it's the new channel, The Community of Ideas. A lot of cool stuff there. We're filling up that archive. We're going to get ready to promote that here probably in a couple weeks. We got a lot of stuff going there. So, anyway, you can find us anywhere in that area. Let us know your thoughts on this. Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe I've got a bleak view of all of this. I am very, very anxious to hear your thoughts. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great evening.